torch for us. If Dan Semino's in the crowd, can you come on up, Dan? Not for me. 1980, Lake Placid, New York. Also 1984 in Sarajevo. The only time the U.S. team was finished first and second in the cross country was in 1980, where he was trying to chase down Bill Koch, and they went first and second. The first time they hosted a World Cup event, he finished 7th overall in the first World Cup season. So ladies and gentlemen, athletes, I'd like to introduce Dan Semino, a member of the U.S. ski team for life.
Thank you all, it's a pleasure to be here. I was 7th. We had a 1-2. We won a World Cup relay. It was pretty cool. There's another golden age of skiing going on right now. Keegan, Jesse. It's pretty cool. And you're part of that. Be part of that. Keep going. You guys train harder as J2s for MBSEF than I did in 1982. It's really cool. And keep it up, keep going, and we're on along for the ride. Thank you very much.
And was ski jumping at 10. By 17, he was competing in the Olympic Games in Nagano, Japan. But in 2002, his rapid rise came to an abrupt halt when Billy cracked his skull diving into a pool. The thing you need to know about Billy is he's got a hard head. If anything, the accident stoked Billy's burning desire to compete. Heading into Vancouver, Billy was well aware that no American had ever won a medal in Nordic combined. He also knew
I want to congratulate all of you for being here and making the journey out and having worked so hard and qualified to be at these Junior Olympics. This is a real microcosm of the bigger picture of the Olympics, and I just want to go back a little bit in my own history and just let you know how important this step is along your journey. When I was 13, there used to be a J3 Junior Olympics, and I qualified, and I was one of the young kids, and the following season, I didn't make the team. And then the next year, it was in Lake Placid, so that was kind of a shoo-in, and I made the team barely, and I ended up 4th, I think, in J2, and you know, it was one of those things where I wasn't the best guy, but it gave me an opportunity to train with the national team the following summer. And even though I was barely making the JO team, when I was 16, I ended up going to the Nagano Games when I was 17 and taking that step forward again. You know, I think it's just kind of important to point out how results are part of the picture, but they're not everything. And whether it's these games here in Park City and at Soldier Hollow this week, or down the road for some of you, the World Juniors, the World Championships, the Olympics, it's important to do the best with what you've done and make yourself proud of what you can do with what you've done, but also take a moment and enjoy the journey. And I just want to mention one other thing. They talked a little bit in the video about 2002. I was 21 years old, and after my experience in Nagano, 17, I was kind of wide-eyed, and I went into 2002 and I was hammered down. It was medal or nothing. And in fact, in my mind, it was medal, and that was it. That was all I had. And that was all we lived for. That was all we skied for that whole season and the years leading up to it. And when that medal became bittersweet close, we got 4th in the team event, I didn't know what to do. And I hadn't even taken time to go to the opening ceremonies or to enjoy the ride. And I can tell you, as great an Olympics as Salt Lake was, and we just celebrated the 10th anniversary this last month, I barely even remember it because I was there for one thing, and that one thing really wasn't the most important thing. And I can tell you the fundamental difference between 2002 and 2010 was myself and my teammates went to have a good time. And we also knew we could win, but winning was secondary to enjoying the ride and using and doing everything that we could to the best of our ability to make it happen. And I want you guys to think about that this week. I want you to use the training that you've done and all the hard work and use your teammates and your coaches to do the best that you can, but also meet some other people, enjoy the week, and congratulate yourselves on having worked so hard to be here, because it's part of a bigger journey. So I hope this week is successful for everybody. Thank you very much.
It was a neat feeling. I've got some crazy great news. First of all, for the first time in the history of women's ski jumping, they will be represented in Sochi, Russia. They've been trying for years and years and years. They tried back in 2002. They tried in Torino, Italy for 2006. They tried in Vancouver for 2010. And now for 2014, women's ski jumping will be recognized for the 22nd Winter Olympic Games. On behalf of that, I've got incredible news that a 17-year-old, that her career started here at the Utah Olympic Park, whether it was summer or winter. This young jumper secured the first World Cup overall. With 2 competitions left to go, she's already secured first overall for the whole season. That young jumper, a 17-year-old Sarah Hendrickson, has secured the first Women's World Cup overall in preparation for Sochi in 2014. On behalf of the Utah Olympic Park, to all the athletes, be safe. As Billy DeMong said, enjoy the ride. Thanks for coming out. If you're super duper cold, don't go crazy. There's hot chocolate at a mere $1.50. On behalf of the Utah Olympic Park, have fun. Be sure to give copper colon powder a squeeze. Good luck to all the athletes.